Is coming before us, and we move to 135 pounds. The top seed, the senior, Dave Cordoba, at 34-0 from Kearny, will take on Camden Catholic's Mike Booth, a senior, the third seed, with a mark of 35-2. And this should be a good one. Camden Catholic, another wrestler in the final. That is Mike Booth. And as we mentioned, he's up 3 weight classes after a 4th place finish at 119 last year. He was second in the state at 103-88, and there is a returning champ in Dave Cordoba from Kearny. Of the Kearny Cardinals, the junior is 34-0.
And Cordoba will be wearing the red anklet, Booth the green anklet.
I want to correct myself. Cordoba is a senior, as this is his last chance at a state title. Cordoba, the returning state champ, won at 130 last year, had 31 pins and a technical fall coming into the championship run. Yeah, he's a pinner. It may not take long here.
That's pretty impressive.
Cordoba in the red and black has won 65 straight matches. Trying to add to his gold medal collection.
He has an underhook, trying to control the front tie. And a stalemate will be called, as neither wrestler was really in any position to score. Cordoba backs out, now takes a shot, a little too far away, and they go out, and actually Cordoba is tossed by Booth out of bounds. Gets a little reaction from the fans. Shot by Booth, countered by Cordoba with a front head and arm. He'll try to bring Booth to the mat, where he can work something from there.
Top seed against the third seed here at 135 as the wrestlers go off and come back to center. Now all time, Dave Cordoba, 130 wins and only 3 losses. He's been impressive his whole career.
Quick high crotch into a duck under by Mike Booth, though. May have caught Cordoba napping a little bit. It goes up by a score of 2-0. So a very nice shot. As Booth will ride with a wrist, throws a leg in. Now he'll switch off and attack the head. Look for a power half if he can. Now comes off the tight waist. Flattens Cordoba out. Down to the final 10 seconds. He's done a nice job of keeping Cordoba under control, and there's a stalling call.
Stall warning on Cordoba on the bottom, so he picks up the first warning as he kind of looks up, a little helpless.
A little frustrated.
Mike Booth in the black from Camden Catholic, the third seed at 35-2, leading by a score of 2-0 here after this first period. He's going to elect to go down to start the second period. He's going to try to come on out and build his lead to 3-0. The last loss that Cordoba had was back 2 years ago when he was a sophomore. He lost in the 119-pound final to Oliver Ruiz of Cliffside Park, who was the most outstanding wrestler in that tournament.
And off the whistle, Cordoba tries a cross-face cradle, but Booth was able to come through on that and comes almost neutral. Now he's going to try to pick up a reversal, and he does get the reversal, so he goes up by a score of 4-0. And it's probably safe to say that Dave Cordoba has not found himself in this situation this year, as he trails 4-0.
Most times Cordoba would pin his opponent, be in complete control, but here a takedown and then a second period reversal, and Cordoba has to find a way to come out. We've already had one returning champ repeat in Mark Manchio, but here Dave Cordoba, all he can handle against Mike Booth from Camden Catholic.
Booth has been done a nice job of riding so far. Likes to ride with the leg. Cordoba will have to move off the bottom, and he does. Tries to stand. Gets to his feet again, but Booth brings him down. Cordoba now is able to come loose. So with a point escape, it's 4-1 in favor of Booth here in the second period. Cordoba now will have to get busy. Reaches in on a shot, a little too far away. Nice shot by Booth as he gets there. He'll go to a little roll, a little fireman's, picks up the takedown. He'll get some back points out of this. Booth was able to get 3 back points, so he's just blown this one wide open. Goes up by a score of 9-1.
Wow. Talk about a role reversal. It looks like Booth is the returning champ in this one. Well, Mike Booth was first in District 27, also first in Region 7. His career record is 125-8, and Mike Booth here in the second period cruising up by 8 points. He has a major decision in his pocket right now, as Cordoba seems to be slowed down a little bit. But Mike Booth has risen to the occasion here in this final, and they ran a little injury time for Dave Cordoba.
Cordoba looking frustrated right now. Not sure what has happened to him here, but he finds himself down 9-1. 16 ticks left in the second period. Tries to come out, but Booth counters with a half Nelson and a tight waist. And he'll ride out the remainder of the period.
We're going to end the second period 9-1 with Mike Booth in the black from Camden Catholic, with a very secure lead over a returning champ in top-seeded Dave Cordoba from Kearny.
There's a nice high crotch by Booth. Now he picks up the trailing arm of Cordoba, hangs with it, and by keeping that elbow is able to pick up 3 back points. So very nice move by Booth. He'll start from the bottom.
Cordoba elected to start on top. He's going to try to turn his opponent here. He is a pinner, so I guess he feels he's confident.
He's going to need one here, I think, if he's going to repeat as a state champion. Trying to work a cross face.
Cordoba only has 2 minutes to get working. There's a stall warning on the bottom, so each wrestler has been warned. Next stall, somebody gives up a point.
Cordoba riding with the half Nelson. Try to take an angle on Booth. The one thing Booth doesn't want to do here is just kind of coast. You have a guy with the credentials of Cordoba. Don't want to relax out there. Want to keep the pressure on.
Mike Booth looks like he has a little more energy than Cordoba. Cordoba, undefeated. District and region champ. Picked up a state title last year at 130, but trails here 9-1 in the third period with 1:12 to wrestle.
Booth to his feet. Cordoba trying to bring him back to the mat. Does so, and they'll roll out of bounds. Got a minute and 1 second to go here in the final period.
Mike Booth's coach in the white shirt is Gary Papa. Cordoba's coach in the gray shirt, Tony Caratorcia. And right now, Coach Booth sees his wrestler leading by a score of 10-1.
Cordoba with a front head and arm. Booth tying up the elbows of Cordoba, looking for probably a stalemate situation. Cordoba is trying to spin, but a stalemate is going to be called. They'll come back to their feet with 34 seconds to wrestle.
This is the second Camden Catholic wrestler to make it to the finals. Bill Heverly Lost to Bill Gibbs at 125, but here it has been all Mike Booth at 135 over Dave Cordoba. So we're down to the final 22 seconds.
As Cordoba takes his headgear off to readjust it.
Well, if Cordoba has one big move, he's going to have to come up with it right now.
Booth with the shot. Cordoba with a front head and arm. He'll have to hit something. Tries a little throw by.
Time's going to wind out as Mike Booth is going to win this one by a score of 10-1. The third seed from Camden Catholic, Mike Booth, upsets Dave Cordoba. The fans on their feet as Mike Booth goes to 36-2 on the season, and he is the state champ here at 135 pounds. Booth has looking at a possible trip to Penn State next season. Well, we'll be back with more as we continue here at Continental Airlines Arena. Stay with us on CNA.